What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to another video. All right, guys, we're going to be talking about a pretty sensitive topic, and one that I've discussed pretty thoroughly on my channel for quite some time now, ever since I started. But first off, I just want to say a quick thank you. I didn't realize YouTube reminded me last week that my 1 year anniversary of coming back as a content creator on my channel has happened. So before I continue on with the video itself, I do want to just say a big thank you to everybody. I know I thank you guys quite a bit already as it is, and I think, and rightfully so, you guys deserve a big thank you. But this one is special because obviously I've hit the 1 year mark on my channel again after coming back from a big time hiatus, and it's grown pretty significantly since then, and I've loved every minute of it. So you know, there's been ups, there's been downs, there's been some drama, which was very unexpected for me, but you know, it's part of the gig, and I think it's for the most part I've had nothing but love and admiration for you guys, for the time that you guys spend hanging out with me, and the time that I get to hang out with you means a lot to me as a content creator, as a father, you know, as a full-time employee, you know, and just overall as a person. Means a lot, because I know how important time is. That's one thing that you'll never get back, and who you spend it with and how you spend it matters more than anything. So again, just a really big thank you guys for the 1 year of insanely good highs and some really small lows, but overall it's been incredible. So again, thank you so much. Now I'm going to go into this topic because I think it's fairly important. The reason why I think this topic is important is because I cover it all the time, and it's something I think not enough content creators talk about, and that is obviously spending on gachas. Now, the reason why I'm thinking it's a good time to do it now, there's actually three really good reasons why it's a good time to do it now. Number one, we're going to talk about three topics here about spending. This is specifically about being a whale or spending on a gacha, and I think this is something that's important to discuss because there's cycles to this, right? And it's a very big disease, and a lot of people don't understand this. I want to differentiate between healthy spenders and, you know, unhealthy spenders, and there is a very big difference. So a healthy spender is somebody who, you know, moderates their spending, spends within their means, knows what their budget is, and will spend a couple $100s, and usually has the willpower to stop, understanding that, you know what, yeah, I might not get the item that I want, but at the end of the day, it's just a pixel, you know, and something new will come out anyways, and if I just play long enough, I'll eventually earn what I want to some extent, right? So they understand that this is a game, and that the marketing strategy behind any of these gacha games are to obviously make you spend as much as you possibly can, with a policy to not let you refund. So those are healthy spenders, and those spenders, I applaud you for being able to consider your own budget, understand how to work within it, and from a healthy perspective, enjoy the game. Because at the end of the day, if you spent, let's say you spent $100, right, on this, let's say on One Punch Man, and you've played it for 3 months, well, any game that you play for 3 months, this day and age, $100 is a pretty standard amount, right? And this is what game you can continue playing after you spend the $100, and there's no extra fee to it, right? So the way I always look at things is like, is this like a game that I could spend my time playing, and do I have fun? If yes, then spending is not a big deal, right? Then there is obviously the free-to-play toxicity. Now this one's rough, okay? Because you guys know me, I'm free-to-play in most of my games, and I love the free-to-play challenge. Where I think free-to-play becomes a little bit of a toxic environment is the honorable mentality of free-to-play is better than everything else, because you know, if you're not free-to-play, your account or your mentality doesn't matter. Now, free-to-play, I will say this, are winners in real life because you save money in real life. That's where the real benefit is. But one thing I have noticed, it's become a little bit of a toxic trend, is that anyone who's free to play tends to think they're better than the whales because whales are stupid for spending, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is you need spenders in order for games to stay alive. So I've always said this, free to play players should be thanking whales for spending on their behalf for them to be playing the game. Now, the real topic though comes up to the big spenders. Now, I'm bringing this up because of three reasons, okay? Number one, the status of One Punch Man obviously is not in a good state. I have a lot of people who I know who spent, a buddy of mine who doesn't really care. I mean, he makes enough money. It's not a big deal to him, but I have people on my Discord, for example, and other parts of the community who have spent a lot of money on this game because they just loved what it was all about, and they couldn't wait for it to grow and continue growing and benefit from, the ability to play this whenever they saw fit with their favorite IP characters. That would have been the ideal situation. The reality of it is every single person I know that has spent also now has deep regret, right? And this is something that I want you guys to think about. These companies are building their brand around you spending as much as you possibly can from the beginning. You as a player need to understand and give yourself some sort of a personal policy about spending. Like, hey, you know what? I'll play a game for 3 months before I spend to know that this game is going to last. Or 3 months to make sure that I still enjoy this game or this game is worth my time. These are things that whales don't do. And you know what? I can't blame a lot of you guys because it's one of those things where the game's designed in the beginning to throw deals and advertisements and make you feel any form of FOMO. FOMO is fear of missing out. That if you don't take this deal after this time limit is over, you're missing out something that you'll never get again, right? It's this illusion of power gain, illusion of exclusivity, and illusion of VIP status. You're not a VIP. They call it a VIP because they want you to feel like you're a VIP, but you're just another number, right? Now, I'm not saying spending is bad in a game. I've never wanted to come off as that person that says never spend, but I've seen too many people spend and then regret, and then they're screwed. And this is an example of a game that has a lot of people feeling that way. Now, Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. That's a game that's currently out, going through its anniversary with 2 of the best weapons we've seen to date, and most likely 2 more of the best weapons we've seen to date coming out in the next week. This is also another game that has treated its community really, really well, though. See, and this is where I see a lot of free-to-play players up to this point now feel like they want to spend, and I've seen a lot of people be like, yo, Payne, I can't actually afford to go too deep into this, but should I still spend? And this is what I want to kind of discuss. If you ever say that to somebody, then you shouldn't be spending. It's plain and simple, right? If you need to think about your budget in order to spend to pay on a pixel that will eventually be power crept by another pixel, then you probably should think twice about spending. Now, I can spend, obviously, on these games. I make a very good income in real life outside of content creating. This is a side gig. You guys know this from me. I mentioned it many times. And I don't say that to brag or anything. I say that because if I have the willpower to stop myself, then it should help the person who makes less than I do to stop spending as well. Remember, I always say this: you can put food on your family's table over 5 minutes of exhilaration and then buyer's remorse, right? So this is another reason why I'm bringing this up, because Final Fantasy currently is going through a very good event, and a lot of people are urging themselves to spend because they don't want to miss out, because they've already missed out limited weapons before. And I'm just reminding you guys, there will be more events to come. This is only the half anniversary. The full anniversary is coming as well, right? So if you are planning to spend, give yourself a budget and stop at that budget. There are many ways to control your spending. 1, taking your credit card off if you need to go to the extremes. Number 2, setting a budget limit on the actual Google Play application or iOS. There is an actual section you can do that. So when you exceed that budget or get close to it, it will remind you, and hopefully that notification is enough for you to have the willpower to stop. Okay, these are very important things, guys, right? Like as a father, as a husband, as somebody who is the breadwinner in my house, it is my sole responsibility to make sure before anything else I do for myself selfishly, I do for other people. My money goes towards my family. My money goes towards their happiness. My money goes towards my bills, my home, my mother and father, if they ever need it. Gaming is the last thing I think about spending on. And that is a new habit I've had to build, by the way. This is not me giving you guys this fictitious thing about how I've been such a diligent spender. No. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on games in the last 15 years. I've documented that. So, I have been on this boat before and on this ride. Now, I want to bring up the last topic, Solo Leveling Arise, which is coming out very soon, especially early access in Canada. Now, I did mention in my video yesterday that I might not be free to play in that game, and because I have the ability to spend, I may. Okay, I may. I didn't say I'm going to 100%. Now, another part of it is, does a company deserve your money? For the most part, with the way people spend, no, because people spend thousands of dollars. I always say this: one banner in a video game. So for example, take One Punch Man, right? If you wanted to max out a unit, it costs roughly about 2.6K to get their full P6 plus their full arms to max out, right? 2.6K Canadian, right? It takes one person to buy, how many AAA games is that? Let's use Final Fantasy VII Rebirth as an example. It's $100, right? That's 26 rebirths, 26 copies of a console game. So think about that, right? And this is how they make their money. This is why the mobile industry is the most lucrative gaming industry in the world, because it doesn't take them very much to make that much money. So with Solo Leveling Arise coming up, guys, this is the same thing. Remember, it's a massively popular IP at the moment, and it will draw you in to spend, myself included. All right. I'm going to be very diligent about my spending, and I'm going to make sure that I spend smart and that I spend within my means. I will remind you guys of that as well. So give yourself a little bit of time. So my personal time frame for spending, I'm going to give myself 2 weeks. Let's say the game is for 2 weeks, because again, I'm a content creator. I have to produce content. If I wasn't a content creator, I'd give myself about a month. A month, I think, is a very good amount of time to kind of gauge a game. 3 months is even better, but 3 months, some games don't even last 3 months. And in that case, hell, you've saved yourself a lot of money by not going deep into a game that doesn't last for 3 months, right? So anyways, guys, I just want to bring this up because I know this is a heavy topic for a lot of folks. And I know it's not talked about enough, and I talk about it quite a bit, but I'm proud to talk about it. Even if it sounds annoying to some folks, I think it's very important to remember this is a life that you live every single day. It's hard. It's not easy. Life is not difficult. Money making, no matter what industry you're in, is not easy. Just remember, you work hard for your money. Hold on to it a little longer rather than giving it away to big companies that want it in their pockets instead. All right, guys, this is Payne. Hope you enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys in the next one.